Hi everyone, it's Ally and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford, and that fragrance is Azure Lime. This is a newer launch for 2024. You've got notes of lime, you have a buchu note, and you have Australian sandalwood in the base. A very simple fragrance, but yeah, that's what we're going to be getting into today. The packaging looks like this. It is your classic Tom Ford packaging, but it has a green outer portion. You lift off the top and the fragrance sits in there. I really love the bottle. The bottle I think is spectacular. It has this sort of like transparent green sort of effect that is very reminiscent of a lime. I really like it. I think it's sexy, sleek, and beautiful, and everything else about it is your classic Tom Ford packaging. This is a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, and it retails for $295 for those of you that decide to get your nose on it. And yeah, there are three notes, like I said. In this fragrance, you have a watery sort of lime note. You have that South African buchu, and you have Australian sandalwood. This is marketed as a unisex fragrance, but I would say it's probably unisex, but with a much more of a heavy masculine lean, in my opinion. I could see a man totally rocking this fragrance and really getting a lot of use out of it and really loving it. Not to say that my girls out there can't get good use out of this fragrance. I think that there are some women out there that might enjoy this one, but keep in mind that this does lean masculine and gives a sort of cologne-y vibe. Now, this fragrance is described as being an effortless, poolside, glamorous, like Mediterranean villa type of fragrance. And I could totally see that. On initial blast, you get this really juicy lime. It's super juicy, mouth-watering. It's like someone just cut the lime right in front of you, and it's just bursting with this citrus punch. It's really, really nice. As it starts to settle down, you start to get more of that buchu. Buchu is a sort of herbaceous, bitter sort of note, and that really translates beautifully with the lime. It really helps giving it a more natural feel, because it starts to almost give it like a rindy effect. Like you're smelling the lime, but you're also smelling the rind, that very bitter sort of white rind on the inside. And you're definitely getting that as it starts to dry down. It's initially juicy, citrusy, and then it starts getting a little rindy. But as it settles down further and you get further into the dry down, that buchu note starts to become a little bit more aromatic along with being bitter. And it starts to show facets of that creamy sandalwood. Now, the creamy sandalwood and that buchu give a very aftershavy sort of effect. So that's where I would say the masculine aspects of this fragrance start to come out and play, is more in the dry down. You do get a very masculine effect that smells like traditional masculine cologne. That sort of bright citrusy, but also very like creamy aftershavy sort of vibe. It almost smells like if you hugged your grandpa who lives on the Mediterranean Sea and has a villa, and also has like a lime orchard or something in his backyard, and you're getting the wafts of like the sea mixed with the orchard or the lime orchard and like his cologne, and you're almost hugging him. It sort of gives me that sort of effect. And that's why I would definitely say that this leans more on the masculine side. Not to say, like I said, that girls out there can't wear this fragrance. I'm sure there's plenty of girls that would enjoy it. Me personally, I would love to smell this on a man, just because that buchu note in this really does pull it into masculine territory. I think it's really gorgeous. On my skin, I got about 6-hour wear, which I think is really good for a citrus fragrance. I mean, it's not the longest lasting fragrance in the world, obviously. Citruses tend to be very fleeting, but this one really did last quite a long time on my skin, which I thought was really amazing for a citrus fragrance, for it to last at least 6 hours. Much longer on clothes. If you spray this, make sure to get it on your clothes as well, because if you have it on clothes, it's going to last a lot longer and go a lot further. This is definitely a summer fragrance. This does the best in high heat. In wintertime, especially right now, I don't see anyone getting real use out of this. But if you are looking for summer fragrances, because it is around the corner, it's going to come real fast, I'm sure. then this is going to be definitely a really good one for your arsenal. I would say this is a daytime fragrance. I could see a lot of people getting use out of this in the daytime. I could see you wearing this at night, and then in the evening, if you just want to smell traditionally like fresh, then this would be a really good freshie. Like I said, it does have that sort of like cologne-y vibe because of the buchu note. It adds this really aromatic touch that's a little bitter, and almost aftershavey, and with the sandalwood, that creamy sandalwood, it really does give off this sort of aftershavey like vibe. And if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely check this one out. Like I said, it's not going to be a fragrance for all my girlies out there. This is primarily, in my opinion, more of a masculine leaning fragrance. So my guys out there, definitely check this one out if that's something that you're in the market for. But for the price, I will say, for it being $295, I would almost wish that this was priced a little lower, just because I feel like there are a lot of colognes out there that smell very similar to this and are far cheaper. I know some people have compared this scent to like drugstore like colognes, you know, and like I could see where they're going with that. I definitely like, it does give me that sort of like cologne that you can get anywhere, like type of vibe. But when it comes to Tom Ford and the House of Tom Ford, you're paying for quality and you're paying for the name. And if you are a quality person that loves and cares about the quality of the oils and the ingredients in your fragrance, then that's what you're pretty much paying for when you're paying for the fragrance. You're paying for the aesthetically pleasing bottle, you're paying for the quality of the fragrance, but not necessarily for the uniqueness factor. I wouldn't say this is the most unique smelling fragrance in the world. There are fragrances that are similar to this, and this style of fragrance has been done before. So if you're looking for something a bit more on the unique side, you're not going to find that in this fragrance. If you're looking for something that's going to be like bold and standoutish, you're not finding that in this fragrance at all. You're paying more for the quality and for the name, Tom Ford. But what makes this one stand apart is that lime opening. It's so lime forward and so juicy and like, just so yummy. That's probably my favorite part of this fragrance. I personally wouldn't wear this, but I would love to smell it on a man. I think on a man, it has this very like elegant sort of like upscale, like well put together, clean aesthetic. And that's something that's very alluring and very sexy. And yeah, this is a very sexy scent for men out there. If you love green, bright, sort of citrusy fragrances, then do yourself a favor and check this one out, because you're definitely getting that. The bottle is very appropriately packaged. That green color is spectacular. I honestly wish that all of Tom Ford's bottles came in more of this sort of packaging, the like different color transparent sort of look. I think it's so beautiful. It looks so luxe. This is stunning on a vanity or like on your dresser or wherever it is that you store fragrances. I would definitely have this one front and center. But then again, all of Tom Ford's packaging is really, really beautiful, and this one is no exception. I think the packaging is a 10 out of 10. The scent, I'm going to give it about an 8 out of 10 because it is beautiful, but it is something that I have smelt in the past. So it's not something that's unique or like groundbreaking. It is something that is pretty typical and standard out there. And yeah, quality 10 out of 10. All of Tom Ford's fragrances are 10 out of 10 as far as quality goes. They don't skimp on that. But yeah, for $295, I kind of expect something a little bit more. I think it is very heavily priced. I think the price should definitely come down quite a bit. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this fragrance. Definitely not a bad fragrance, but definitely one for my boys out there. Definitely not one that I see the girlies getting a lot of use out of. Unless they are into those sort of fougere aromatic sort of fragrances, because this does give off a very fougere type vibe. And if that's the style of fragrance that you're into, then definitely check this one out. It is, in my opinion, more of a fougere type scent with a very big emphasis on that bright lime accord that it has. Very juicy, very citric, very yummy, but very much in line with a barber style sort of type of fragrance, if you know what I mean. It smells like a barbershop aftershave sort of thing. And yeah, those are my thoughts on this fragrance. If you guys enjoyed that sort of review, definitely let me know. Let me know if you guys have gotten your nose on it, what you think of this fragrance. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh, by the way, I did not pay for this bottle. It was sent to me, so keep that in mind. That doesn't affect the review I'm going to give it. I'm going to be very upfront and honest with you. And yeah, not my personal style of fragrance. Not my favorite, but not the worst. Definitely a good fragrance. But my guys out there, get your nose on this. And if you're willing to pay that Tom Ford price for this style of fragrance, a sort of citrusy fougere, then definitely get your nose on it, because this is a really pretty one. But yeah, more for my boys out there. Until next time, you guys, I will catch you later. Bye.